The dude who made BBL Drizzy was just saying like, make as much music as possible because in a year the labels are gonna like start fucking sanctioning AI.
They're already doing it.
All their songs and all their catalogs are getting stolen and they're not getting paid for it. And musicians now have this like open market to like do whatever the fuck they want. I want to go back to the playlist retreat because like there were these panels that like were like fucking insane. There was one panel with Jinx, Ryan Leslie, and Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
And like it was about branding and marketing, and like I haven't seen Ryan Leslie in forever.
Just kind of looking at when did I. You almost still don't. You know what I mean? Like
It's
was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was cool.
He has like an investment company.
R less for press.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a huge Ryan Leslie fan, like super
I
stan.
love
Yo,
Ryan
he was
Leslie.
so early on the
like just
core.
business wise, like that he's ahead.
Yeah, he was so big on the core fan base kind of Patreon thing early on, and everyone laughed at him.
Yep.
And he's like, no, you kind of have to like build this, and now everyone's doing it, which is crazy.
Yeah, and then there was this crazy panel about AI,
That was insane.
and I couldn't leave. I had to meet with them for Serato, but I could not leave this
Now
panel.
you wish you stayed.
I do wish because like there was this panel. It was the dude who produced BBL Drizzy,
Oh shit.
and it was the lawyer,
Oh.
and it was and then there was this like professor who was like kind of like she had some PhD in some shit that she deserved to be in.
In
And, like,
AIology.
and then again, AI and also like in ethics and shit. Like
It was mostly ethics, the way you were telling me. Yeah.
yeah, but there was this like the dude who produced BBL Drizzy was like, yo, I've never lived through a gold rush, but this is a gold rush right now.
I've never experienced the gold rush. But there have been these times. There are these times throughout society. There are these cycles that we go through with gold rushes, with vast creation of wealth, and then a big shutdown. So I'm just personally coming from gold rush energy.
And he's talking about how AI for producers, it's like now's the time to use AI. If you make music, now's the time to use AI because it's not sanctioned.
Yeah.
and so like the thing is like labels right now hate AI for producers because AI is using all their catalogs for references. So if you're a producer, you can type into AI like, yo, I want some Marvin Gaye Motown bass lines with like, and I want the guitars to sound like Roy Ayers from this, and you'll get it.
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. I forgot the name of that specific software.
There's two companies doing it now that I don't remember the name of, but
But
yeah,
he's
there's
like,
two
he's
big
saying like,
companies
I'm
doing it.
finishing albums that would normally take 3 months. I'm finishing them in weeks because of AI.
Crazy.
And it's like everyone was in an uproar because there's some producers that are just, and musicians that are like, yo, you're taking my keys and my flavor and my style. There was this one musician, he was saying like, he was just curious about AI. So he typed in some of the chords from one of his songs into AI, and AI gave him all of these new keys and new chord progressions. And he was like, oh, I would have never thought of that.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So then he was like, all right, like let's build on this. Let me change the song that I made.
So instead of just ripping it off, he
got to like, yeah. So like the thing with
It unlocks
AI that's in crazy is you can make a song and then you can be like, damn, I don't know how to build the bridge. You can just put whatever song you've made and put it into AI, and they'll give you like tons of options of where you could take the chord progressions.
Crazy.
Damn.
And then, so he started working with AI, and he's just like, all right, let's build the song, but like, let's rebuild it to new. And he built this whole, and he was like flipping out because he's like, I literally rebuilt one of my songs and I was working with AI. And he's like, I was a little freaked out.
If you guys see me put out songs in the key of life too, mind your fucking business.
Just know what's up.
Two keys to life.
This is where it got even more freaky. He told AI to create vocals and write a song for this instrumental that he just rebuilt, which is already an existing song that he made.
Yeah.
And AI put vocals on there, and it was his vocals.
Yep.
Like his
Dang.
voice.
But how do they know that it was his song? They don't know.
Oh,
do you know what I'm saying?
wow.
Like literally from the chord.
So he never said his name.
He never said like, hey, like emulate my voice. He just said put any voice that matches this, and it found his voice.
Damn.
That's
and put
crazy.
it in his song just from the chords and the bass lines.
That's
It could
nuts.
already match that. This was an existing song, so we'll put these vocals that exist and put it on this new song.
That's crazy.
So he's like, he got so freaked out, he stopped like fucking with
It's
it.
like a ghost.
That's crazy.
But the dude who made BBL Drizzy was just saying like, now's the time for all producers to fucking like just start
Just
working.
use
Go
it.
crazy.
Just go crazy. And he's like, make as much music as possible, because in a year and a half, the labels are gonna like start fucking sanctioning AI.
They're already doing it.
Yeah.
One of the big three already like invested in one of the AI music companies just to make sure that they have one partner and they can block the other company or any other future companies.
That's their biggest fear right now. It's labels. Their biggest fear is that all their songs and all their catalogs are getting stolen. Like the sounds, vocals, everything, their instrumentation is all getting stolen, and they're not getting paid for it. And musicians now have this like open market to like do whatever the fuck they want.
It's
Now,
kind of wild.
And I was thinking that's why like you see so many artists selling their entire catalog now. It makes more sense because they probably knew that this was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
And-
if you get paid out now in like a big chunk, like that makes more sense than trying to wait on royalties when you're not going to get it when AI can create 50 million versions of your voice in the future.
That's such a good point.
That makes so much.
So do you remember when BBL Drizzy came out? It was like they were kind of like, yo, like anyone make a song of this and there's no copyright
Yeah.
on this shit, right?
Yeah.
The lawyer was explaining that a little bit, and he was saying the way AI works in production and like copywriting and publishing works is that you can't copyright something that's made by AI. You can only copyright the contributions of the actual musician.
If
or
there's
the
no
writer.
musician,
So someone has to write on it or you have to add to it.
You cannot copyright the contributions from AI. So that's like the tricky shit.
Interesting.
So,
so
that's
it just
why.
exists. It's copyright free.
So like you can kind of lie about the contributions, right?
Yeah.
But if someone wants to dig, you know, you better have some like actual keyboards. But like the producer was saying, like I can have a keyboardist come in and they could do like all of these chords and we could do a bunch of notes. And he's like, I could just enter it into AI and I can get 20 different versions of that beat. And I literally made from one chord recording with the pianist, I can make 20 beats from that.
That's insane.
And then it's
Because
like,
especially if it's in MIDI too, like I guess.
and he's like, and this is the crazy shit. Like you've heard stories of like Little John used the same drums for like
Everything.
P.D. Pablo and Usher, yeah, right? So it's like some of the keys are the same. You know, like if you make one, like that's what he's saying. Like if, like let's say Little John made Usher, yeah, and he put it into AI, he could have made 20 different versions of that
Yeah.
and sold it with like little to no effort.
Just make one beat and
And-
then make 20 different variations of it.
But the tricky thing is this: is like from what the lawyer was saying was that because they're actual keys that were played, the contributions are from a human.
So you can't use.
You can't
see.
you can copyright it.
Yeah.
But if you're asking,
But if you just like, hey, make me a chord progression that sounds like this,
Then
then
you
it makes a
can't-
completely original
can't
one.
copyright
Can't
it.
Got
copyright.
it.
It's not yours.
Exactly.
You have to change it,
yeah,
even slightly.
right.
I mean, that's
to
just like
copyright.
interpolation, like getting around like sample clearance in like the early 2000s was like that.
Right.
Because essentially, you're just making a bunch of splice shit. Like it's
Yeah.
free.
So
Copyright free.
all the musicians were like in an uproar hearing this shit because they like all their vocals and all their
Available.
everything that they're working on that a human does is getting taken from them and they're not getting paid.
oh shit. Literally somebody's voice.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's AI produced. That person
Yep.
didn't actually say it. A fucking software did it. So
Right.
it's free.
So then the ethics professor was like, she was saying like, look, the problem with this is that something is coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
AI is learning from existing music, existing
It has points of reference.
tones, piano, sounds. Everything is coming from everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if it does get sanctioned, and you go to AI for sounds what sounds can you get? What are like universal sounds? What are universal melodies?
And that's what you were just getting on, P-Dot, was the interpolations.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like at what point,
How much do you have to
is
change it?
inspiration and
Yeah.
what point is copying? But yeah, like these completely original sounds have a point of reference from something
Exactly.
original.
Yeah.
So how, damn.
So it gets complicated, right?
Yes.
So it's almost like if it gets sanctioned and you type in, I need a bass line that's like Marvin Gaye this, they're going to be like, we don't know what Marvin Gaye is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be that specific.
Right. So you
But you
can,
can
or
say,
like,
I
I
mean-
want it to sound like Motown. They'd be like, we don't know what Motown is because all it has copywritten.
So you
then
can be
AI,
like-
it's limiting what AI can provide you with.
So now you can say you have to be hyper specific and like, I need a bass line that sounds like 60s R&B soul originating in Detroit.
Well, the whole thing is like you'll need, like what I said, a musician to enter something, and then AI can give you like options for chord progressions.
So
and
you'd
all
have to
this
play
shit.
like the bass line from.
But right now, you can literally say, I want the pianos from like Shook Ones Part 2,
Yeah.
but I want it in different chord progressions, and I want it in 70 BPM
In this key at that speed.
in that key, and then I want drums that sound like that, but and it'll just give
So
you
right
spit it out.
now,
Yeah.
what it's fucking Wild West.
That's what the producer's saying, and he's
Okay.
telling every other producer. The problem is this: he was looking out for producers, but he sounded like a kind of a douchebag because he was just like, "Man, we're gonna make so much money." You know what I
Y'all should
mean?
do it.
Like he's selling cryptocurrency.
Yeah, but he's kind of.
But he's kinda right.
He's not wrong.
I kind of fuck with him a little bit, but people were they were up in arms because
You said it divided the room kind of crazy.
so like the problem is that people are scared of AI, right? Because they're afraid that they're gonna get replaced.
That was my initial thought.
Because there was another musician who was saying he was working with AI recently, and he was with a violinist, and she was doing some violin shit, and he told her for some variations, and they were like, let's put it into AI, and the AI created these variations that she couldn't even think of, and she got depressed because she said,
The computer's better than me.
I've been devoting 20 of my years into being the best violinist, and this computer just did something
And I couldn't even fathom.
in 30 seconds that I couldn't even fathom.
Oh my god.
So she went into like a depression.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. I made the joke earlier, like if I make songs in the key of life too, mind your business. But like
Is that the subtitle?
the fact that I truly could, I'm not a musician by any means, make a continuation of possibly the greatest album of all time. You know what I mean? Like just
Facts.
because AI exists.
But
That's
he-
kind of wild.
But here's the thing is like the labels, if they have the rights to the copyrights
Well,
for
once they
everything,
come in, that
means they can make all the music that they want
Yeah.
though.
So now we're listening to artificial music.
So like, but if I'm a label and I own all the Motown, I can just be like, well, I want to make, and then let's say I like, I don't know, like who owns the rights to Motown? If like, what's that
What
Korean?
Universal does, I believe.
Yeah. So like, you see all these corporations are buying like all the
Catalog.
all the catalogs right
Yeah.
now. Like if I own Bruno Mars and I own Motown, I could literally just create.
Now Bruno Mars is making Motown sounding classics
Yep.
forever.
But I can make 500 different songs and like pick the best 20 and create an album. And then I can even bring in musicians to like,
You could do that till the end of time, too,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
you can bring in musicians and be like, all right, let's change this up a little bit.
Imagine
know?
if you love the Beatles so much.
Right.
And I mean, I guess that's a perfect example because they tried it. They tried to make a new Beatles song and it didn't sound good, but like I can make 50 versions of Rubber Soul forever. Beatles fans are just going to love it. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you think like kind of end game wise, like think about your DSP that you listen to instead of like looking for a playlist. Be like, hey, I want this song. I want a song that sounds like this, sung by this person. You click it, and then it just makes a song on the fly.
Oh my God.
Think about that.
Not only that, it'll send you like, if you ask for 10 different versions,
Yeah,
it'll send you 10 different versions.
Give me an
I need
album.
the 10-minute,
Crazy.
12-inch version of this.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah. I mean,
it's possible.
So then, like, Lord Finesse started talking about how, and he started bringing up basically DSPs
Okay.
and how when he signed a contract with a record label, he technically signed a contract with a record label for them to distribute cassette, CD, and vinyl. he did not sign for DSPs. So technically, what all DSPs are doing are legal. So all these artists from like past the 2015
Can go back.
never signed a contract for these record labels to be distributing on streaming platforms.
Damn.
So he's saying technically they're doing something illegal.
Oh
But-
yeah, because if their contract specifically says is physical media,
Yeah, if it's like, it's literally, he says, I signed a contract for cassette, CD, and vinyl. It did not say anything about,
So everyone before the 360 era.
right.
yes. Oh,
So not digital.
So he was saying like, you know, he was arguing about that. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of lost where his point was, but I think
Right.
his point had to do with the labels fucked us over.
so they have
And
rights
now-
to my music that they shouldn't even fucking have.
Exactly. And now they're scared. The labels are scared that we now have access to all their catalogs to make more music.
Yep.
He's like, but like
That's
he
kinda-
was kind of discussing like, you know,
It's like a get back.
a little bit. And then it just got everyone in an uproar. Like it was like everyone started yelling.
So the fucking
it was
panel
like
got insane.
it was like a town hall meeting.
A witch hunt. Damn, that would have been an interesting discussion.
And then these guys are like, come to Serato now. I'm like,
you're like, this is probably the best
He's
thing
like
that's happened here.
Popcorn, like no.
And
I
now in
can't, Stuka.
retrospect, you really just,
You should have stayed. Yeah.
you left the most exciting part
I'm like,
of the
no, I don't
retreat
wanna
to get your
leave.
fucking laptop
He's
screwed
like,
over.
no, Crooked, come here now. They're leaving. And I'm like, fuck. And it was like, everyone was standing up and they're like, blah, blah. I was just like, yeah, what the
It's like
fuck?
doing the movies in the movie.
I'm surprised you didn't record none of this.
Huh?
I'm
I
surprised
did. I have some of it recorded. I don't have it recorded when it got heated though. I got Lord Finesse like going at them. And
But when your mind is deep and you understand artistry, you're not going to be able to track an artist's mindset on how to use an AI. Because it goes as far as what you feed it. So if my knowledge, I got a knowledge of 200,000 records in my mind.
the weird thing is Lord Finesse just started talking at the panel like they were labels. He's like, you guys stole our music. You know?
He's like, yo, I'm a lawyer.
Yo,
Who's this guy?
I'm a professor,
And
dog.
motherfuckers are like, wait,
I'm
why is
Ryan Leslie.
Oh, Ryan Leslie was another panel.
that? No, but they were kind of like, yo, like
We're just like you.
We're just guys. Yo, I make
I'm on
music
your
too.
side.
yeah. No, but it was great. It was fucking. It was
Holy
insane.
shit, that's crazy.
Once in a lifetime experience.
There's this other podcast that I listen to, Rel and Friends.
You what?
There's this other podcast
How
that I listen
fucking
to.
dare you, my friend?
Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Rel. He has a really good podcast about like production, as far as like video production,
Oh, nice.
like creative world, like the whole creative world. He owns his own agency, but he dives into AI like in every episode and like gives updates. And maybe a couple months ago, he actually started messing with like music AI because he used to make beats. He's from the Bay. And then he just wanted to see like how far you could go. And it's to the point now where he'll make AI make him a new intro song every episode. And he'll have it
That's intense.
do all the lyrics, have a different vibe. Like, oh, I want like, like crunk this week. I want like boom bap hip hop this week. I want like hyphy this week. And it's a different voice, a different vibe, a whole different arrangement every single episode. It's just
That's
like
crazy.
fucking mind blowing.
That is
Wait,
crazy.
what program is he using?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but he.
But what are the
definitely
standard
discussed it.
programs? Do you understand?
I'm
I
looking that
think
up
there's
right now.
there's two of them. I know he discussed two different ones. But yeah, it's literally you just type in the prompt, hey, I want you to talk about this show. I need it to sound like
I think
this.
Suno was one of them.
Sounds familiar.
Suno, Ava, SoundRaw.
Sono, Eva,
Only you can make that joke.
Oh, Sono,
But yeah,
Suno AI.
it's nuts.
It's literally called Suno AI.
Sono AI. Yes, it's a future.
I think Suno is the one that I was watching. It's been a while.
It's nuts. It's like no musical stuff. He just types in like a text prompt, like I need this to be mentioned. I need it to sound like this era of music, and I need it to be this long, and maybe this kind of BPM or maybe, and then it'll spit it out in a few minutes.
Crazy.
Pause.
Crazy.
I actually like that whole panel. Like, is scary
It is.
because this is like I know it's gonna happen with DJing.
That's what I'm saying. If it could do that, it sure as shit.
Yo, fam, not only
We'll be
can
able
it do
to
that,
beat match.
not only beat match, remix in live, like in real time.
Yeah.
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 If it has any reference, it can remix and stem in like live, like in real time.
You guys better get your fucking
It's
real
like,
estate
you know?
license.
Hold on. Let's live here. Let's live here for a second. Do you guys know what you guys would do if shit goes down like that? What's your backup plan? What's your?
Just gonna walk into the ocean.
Oh,
That's it. I'm done. Just let a fucking whale leave me. Or whatever.
See if you can make it to Hawaii.
Now, what would you do if this happened?
I'm definitely fine.
Bus tables again? I don't fucking know.
For AI
Start doing
DJs.
auditions.
no, man.
Start an OnlyFans. Mind your business.
I'll for sure go into like the family business, like either auto body or plumbing.
Oh,
yeah, either one of those. I'll find a trade or some shit.
Become a barista and just rough it all over again.
P-Dot's just gonna make YouTube videos on AI.
P-Dot's already got a second.
Maybe. But then they could do that too. Just replace my face and do all that shit.
I have no idea.
You gotta
what
do
I would
like you gotta pick something you can do with your hands, pause.
Dog, I low key like my recent Serato problems. Like, I think I showed you. I was using AI to like give me a walkthrough on.
He was fucking using ChatGPT.
I was using ChatGPT.
How do
I was like, I
fix
need
this?
to back up my library and reinstall Mac OS, and it fixed everything.
Really?
Crazy.
And
Yeah.
it helped. It was
It
100%
completely
helped.
helped.
Crazy.
Made it so fast. I knocked it out in a day.
Shout out to Skynet.
Just kinda,
I can't even lie, man. I started using a Chat GPT for like just like organizing descriptions.
You could
and,
use it
like,
for
Yeah.
research.
and research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Wait.
I had to rewrite the Road podcast bio, and I was like, yeah. And then,
Jokes
like,
on you guys. This episode is AI.
I was shocked at how much AI knew about like this podcast.
I don't want to know.
There's a lot out there though. You guys put a lot
Yeah.
of content.
They
out
probably
there.
have my voice.
They had like a bio.
Definitely do.
They had a version that said the podcast is started is
I was
with
just gonna say, what is Road
DJ
Podcast?
Crooked, Jamie the Great, and Never, who passed away, and blah blah. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like they
bro.
knew all of this shit.
Yeah.
It's like insane.
That is crazy.
Scary.
Rest in peace, Never. Never would have been.
Never would have freaked the fuck out. yo, what would never would have said?
Yo, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Never
Yo,
like,
bro.
yo, leave me out of this. Fuck that shit, bro.
He
I got nothing to do
never
with
would
this.
have been like, I want no part of
It
this.
did
yeah.
get the name of the show wrong. I just put in ChatGPT, said, "What is the Road Podcast?" Do you want me to?
Oh, you gotta do what is reflections of a DJ?
Okay, because it
Yeah.
calls you guys something else.
No. But the road is too open. You have to
Have
do
you
what
guys-
is reflections of the DJ Road podcast.
It gives everything else, but the Road Podcast, it calls it something else. Did you guys ever go?
No,
by
I don't. I haven't. I have never used chat.
Rhythm of Design,
No.
Rhythm of
But
Design.
see, like there's probably so many people that have.
but the
road.
rest of it is specifically on you guys.
Oh no!
Is a podcast focused on DJ culture, nightlife, and the hip hop industry, and the music industry, specifically within hip hop, open format DJing, and nightlife communities.
Okay, enough.
Enough.